Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Range. Tom here, and today we're doing a 1947 Chevy Fleetline today. I really like this casting. I ended up getting two of them because I like the casting so much. I wanted to leave one in the package, and then I was wanting to customize one. But I kept the package for this one because I plan on putting it back in there after I'm done. So why don't we head on down to the range and let's get started. You know, when I saw this casting, it kind of reminded me of like the old school bank robber police cars. Whether they use these or not, I don't know. I'm still kind of up in the air on what like I was gonna go with it. I knew I wanted to put these white wall tires on there. I really like these tires. They really look good on it. And I wanted to do something that I haven't done in a while. Not something new. It's not new what I chose to do with this, but I wanted to give it an old rustic look. I wanted to do a barn find look on it. I wanted to groove out these wheel portions of it because I really didn't like the side skirts. So I wanted to make it to where you could see all four of the tires. So I went through my Dremel tool with a lot of stuff. And finally, I just got sick and tired of doing it. So I took my jeweler saw and I cut the rest of it out. And with even the stock wheels, you can see them real good, and stuff like that. It looks good. I like it better without the side skirts because it gives it that more of a old hot rod kind of look. But the jeweler saw was the best bet. Cut them out real clean. I sanded them down with the Dremel tools you see here, just to give it, the smooth, kind of cut out look, so it didn't look all jagged and stuff like that. So I wanted to sand it real smooth and get it grouped out. And luckily enough, the wheels that I chose for this thing fit perfect with this casting, so I was really happy with it. And I was going through some Fleetline pictures, just seeing how, like, what kind of color scheme I was going to go with it, how they looked, how people would paint them and see what they did, and all in all, I think it turned out great. I really do. As I'm recording this video, it's actually sitting in clear coat right now. So it'll be done, and the final results and everything will be ready by the end of this video. I got the new 4 Horsemen build coming up. I can't remember what it is, but I'm trying to get back in the works of things of getting these videos going and, just getting them out there. And hopefully on Monday, I'm going to be able to send all these. I'm going to make a goal on Monday because I'm getting away to be able to send out everything. I'm going to send out all of it. Everything that I owe people, I'm sending out. I'm going to make sure I get all the addresses, verify the addresses from the people, getting all that stuff up, boxed up. Even if I have to, I'll go and buy some packing peanuts or something from Walmart. And so I can get everybody their castings out. So I don't have to worry about, messing up, and I don't owe anybody anything. And, I'm trying to get everybody's out. And I do apologize that it's been taking this long, because I got like 3 people on Instagram. I still got to send, their stuff out for either a giveaway build or they purchased them. I got two cars that a buddy of mine wanted, and he sent me some money for it. So I'm going to have to make sure I get those out to him. And if he's watching this, I do apologize that it's been taking so long. Things have been kind of up and down around my household right now. I'm trying to get everything figured out and all that kind of stuff. But, I want to get back into it, getting back into making videos almost every time I turn around. So I got so many castings that I want to use. And, I'm just talking, you guys can kind of see what's going on here. These white wall tires look really good with this casting. And it's one of my shorter videos because I didn't really do much. I didn't really do a lot of customizing it or anything like that. But, you know, once I got it down to the bare metal, I didn't put any, like, kind of weird designs with it. I originally was going to make a panel van or panel vehicle out of this, a panel truck or something, is what I was planning on doing. But it just got to the point where I didn't know how I was going to do it or anything like that. And that's why I got another casting in case I do decide to change it up a bit. But I didn't like the yellow color. So that's why I went the route I did, and, you know, wanted to make sure everything was going good. I ended up making my own axles and, you know, getting that set up, you know, cleaning it up with the steel wool. And I really like using steel wool. It really does do good when I ain't got a wire brush. And I haven't got a wire brush in a while, and I think I need to pick up some. But I really like how the steel wool does help clean it up. It does help get in the little grooves a little bit and get everything that's like gunked up in it. And I wanted to make sure this was pretty clean and everything before I started painting it. Because the way I went about it is, instead of doing a normal paint job, like I said, I went the old rustic effect. You know, I painted the whole thing a light rust. You know, wanted to give that rust base, and I ended up doing the salt technique. And for those of you who don't know about the salt technique, you know, you put a little bit of water in certain spots, and you dab some salt over top of that water spot and let it dry. And you let it dry, and it covers up that spot that you're wanting to get chipped look effect, you know. And once you lay on the first layer, and you can do this in multiple layers, it's just a little harder once you get more than like 2 colors into the actual design. If you do more than 2 colors, it gets a little more complicated and stuff. And what I mean by complicated, you get very little space that'll show up that last color you decide to paint it. But I went with the rust effect, and then did my little salt techniques around little edges and stuff. And, you know, I could fix this all later. I just wanted the main parts, certain places, to actually just have that rust color popping out. And, you know, and this is the thing, is the way I went about this is the little technique was a little different than usually. You know, instead of because I did 3 colors on this. But the way I went about it, the next color is this red that I did. It's I call it caliber 50 red. It's a little mixture I mixed up, and, you know, but oh yeah, I forgot. I did a little primer color first before the red. So I technically did 4 colors, but 3 using the salt technique. You know, primered it up, made sure like there was a little bit of primer showing throughout some of the casting. And I ended up blending those together later with some of those weathering powders. And you guys know what I'm talking about. You get them up from Hobby Lobby and stuff like that. But, you know, the weathering powders, I love using them. They're really good. I need to get... Well, actually, I'm still good on the powders because I don't use them that often. You know, maybe once in a blue moon, I'll actually use the weathering powders. But, you know, I wanted to make sure that I had a little bit of kind of like stages in between. Like it had color stages, like it was originally rust, and then it had primer portions on it. And then, you know, it had an actual color. And after I was done using the salt technique, and then I painted it that caliber red I was telling you guys about, the little mixture I made up. And, you know, I wanted it to look decent. And, you know, I'm making sure certain spots, and here's that caliber red. I really like it because it has an old school look to it. So what I did was, wherever the salt was at on the red portion of it, I tried to brush away as much as I could. I taped it off because I was going to paint the fenders black, but I would left the salt pieces on the fenders to make it look a little bit simpler. You know, trying to give it that two-tone color scheme. And it's not easy. I'll tell you that right now. It's not easy trying to do a two-tone style rust effect color on a casting of this size. It's really, really hard. You know, trying to make sure that you get the salt off the right places, because the tape will actually take up off the salt if there's any left over where you end up taping it. And sometimes that's not always a good thing, because when you go over the paint, it could get up underneath the tape and everything. So it's really difficult to do that. But you know, I want to, and see what the good thing about doing this rust effect, it was okay if a little bit of paint got underneath, but it didn't really hurt that much to get a little bit. And you see here, the black wasn't fully dry when I painted, or when I started doing the detailing and stuff like that. So what I did was I used that black, a little bit of wetness from the black, and when I brushed it, it kind of gave it that little blackened look over the car, like the little darker look. And I took my chrome pen and went over the edges where it would have been chrome. And the good thing is, when I would, and this was something I never really done before, after I did the weathering, and oh my God, I love how it turns out. I really do. Because it really gives it that old barn find rusty look. And I really do my best to try to do these to where they actually look functional, or not functional, but realistic. Because I did a diorama over a year ago of 2 cars in a barn find. It's been on one of my earlier videos. I showed it in that, and everybody was like, dude, is that a real picture? Because when I took a picture of it, it looked like an actual scenery. But with this, I wanted to pay tribute to my friend Kenny Terry, which is he's no longer with us. He's the one that made my original Caliber 50 Customs logo, and that's what I'm using here. Is I'm just putting 2 decals on the doors of my original logo. And I really enjoyed that logo. I don't use it a lot. I know there's a little bit of a space here, and I do apologize for that. You know, I was kind of getting my decal to unstick from the paper. But microsole and microset, you know, I microset then microsole. You know, it gives it that like nice little. It looked like it was in a car house fire. But this is what we started off with. Really nice Moon Eyes style 47 Chevy Fleetline. You know, I like this casting. It's really cool looking. I'm really glad I found something like this. I was going to make it a cop car, but I changed my mind like halfway through me drilling out the post. But without further ado, why don't we check out the final results?
In my domain, got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane, it's over before you know it. While you're shaking, we're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty, now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over, the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit.